right. What is up, YouTube? Dark Magician Tactics. How is everyone doing today? Let me see. I can't. There we go. That's a little bit better. Alright, sorry about the delay, guys. I will do my best to get this set up. I am in a separate room today, but that's alright. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'll give this a few minutes and then we'll get started with the profile. How was everyone's New Year so far? Hope everyone's doing good so far. As of today's recording, we are getting a new set about to release at the end of January, so that's exciting. A lot of hero stuff, so we'll see how that goes. Didn't see anything for Dark Magician, unfortunately. There is that new Synchro card, the Unity something, and I think it's not that good. It looks like that you need like 25 cards in your opponent's graveyard or your graveyard, and they gain 100 attack for each one. It's something crazy. Just not clearly not useful, but that's okay. We'll wait. We don't mind waiting for some better stuff. So hopefully we get some better stuff. And then for today's video, as you guys can see, we do have Dragon Master Magia. Unfortunately, we have them in the Koreans and the Japanese because we can't afford the TCG. This card is wicked expensive. I looked today before streaming. USD, it was some crazy number. It was like 817 or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Some wild number, but still pretty expensive. No word yet if we're going to get a update for a reprint of the card. Unfortunately, I would love a reprint because, as you guys see in the thumbnail, I think we have a really interesting build to see what we can bring, at least to locals, because we cannot bring these Japanese cards to anything higher than a locals, just because it's a TCG card. So, or an OCG card, excuse me. So unfortunately, that's what it is. What's up, Hero? How are you doing today, man? Hope everything's all right. DM Best Deck, yes sir. Let's go. So that's gonna be today's main focus. Is this build for the locals that we're gonna bring? It's gonna be not a turbo build, but definitely a Dragoon Magia focus build. We're gonna build this deck together. I'll lay out briefly in a second the build that I have so far. That's why we're doing this, guys. I would love your input. And last week we brought the Turbo Dragoon build, and we got third out of 16, I believe, which I think is going to be our best bet to bring to YCS Houston in April. So we're going to see about that and probably go over the turbo build because we got some more cards in today that we're going to bring. What's up, Dark Sorcerer? Yeah, you're early, man. We're going to be here for a little bit, so stick around, and I would love your input when we get to the build. But yeah, so the locals build for Dragoon and Magia, and then the YCS Houston build, the Turbo Dragoon build, will be after. But so we'll go ahead and get started for this build. Before I show you guys the exact cards that I have laid out, I just want to kind of lay out my idea. It's loosely a Master Duel build, and like I said in the previous video before, I know the Master Duel builds don't translate the best to OCG build or TCG builds, but I think we have a shot with it. So this is, like I said, just my general take on this. We're going to see what it does, but I will start going over the build briefly with you guys. The monsters, it's not a lot of monsters. We have Illusion of Chaos and King of the Swamp. So these two cards right here are the bread and butter. This is how we cheat Magia out with this card and polymerization, because it can be substituted as any fusion material as long as the other one is correct, which Illusion of Chaos will always be correct, obviously. But during some test hands, I was running into a issue with the lines not always being there for Magia, but possibly some other cards. So another card that this could make is Master of Chaos, and I didn't even realize that until a couple of hours ago messing with the builds. So that's something to possibly look into. But like I said, at the end of the day, we want to get into Magia and Dragoon on the board just to see what that looks like. I haven't seen anybody doing that at the locals or in the TCG yet. So we're going to get into it, guys, and hopefully we can come up and cook something up crazy. What's up, Kevin? Thank you so much for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Glad you made it. So for the monsters, I'll just shuffle through this real quick and see what we can bring. So we have another King of the Swamp. Triple, I know it's triple Chaos and triple King of the Swamp, as well as a few other DM cards that we're going to get into. We run the single Dark Magician because, like I said, King of the Swamp can be used as any material as long as the other one is correct. So I think it's going to help a lot with the bricks. I'll put the hand traps to the side for right now. Ignore this as well. Maybe we'll get into this. This is some stuff that I cut earlier. We cut the toy box engine just because it wasn't helping with what I thought I wanted it to do, but it's not off the table yet. It's very possible we're going to throw that back in. I'm just going to set it to the side for now. Our hand traps are right here. And that glare is still awful. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me see if I can't. That looks a little bit better. If it's too bad. How's the volume sound, by the way, guys? I hope it's okay. If it needs to be adjusted or anything like that, someone please feel free to let me know. But yeah, that's terrible up there. We'll put them down here. So other than our hand traps, it looks like this is all of the main deck monsters. I believe it is because like I mentioned earlier, we took out the toy box engine. So it's a tight 40. So for now, I think that's what we're going to keep it unless we absolutely have to go over it, which again, if we do, I'm not opposed to it. I just want to find the lines and the avenues first. So this is what we're working with at the moment. We have 3 Illusion, 3 King of the Swamp, a Dark Magician, and a Timaeus. Timaeus, as we all know, is a walk-in polymerization. So that's a good thing to just fuse into Dragoon. But now looking at it, because we don't have Rod or any of those other cards, this might be difficult to summon. We'll get into it in a second, but yeah, I'm just I'm just realizing that looking at it. I think the volume is fine. Awesome. Have you tried Nadir Servant? I have not. Actually, before we get into the build, I'll show you. I have the actual spell card. Oh, I thought I had more than this. But I only have a few of like the Nadir and the cash cards. I don't think I have enough to run the build. But it's an awesome package from what I understand. I see a lot of people running it for DM. It's definitely going to be something we look into maybe either before or right after the YCS that we're going to get into afterwards with the turbo build. But yeah, so this is all the monsters that we have for the deck. Like I said, we can make a lot of lines because this can become Red Eyes, this can become Dark Magician, this can become Timaeus if we need, like anything, as long as the other materials is right and on the field. So we're good with that. So these are the monsters. I'll set these to the side. And like I said, the goal for this is to at least end up with a Dragoon and Magia on the board. I think that would be sick as hell. So we run the 3 copies of Preparation and 3 copies of Polymerization. Let me grab these out real quick for you guys. And the other fusion card that we run is the Super Poly. That is, I think it's an amazing card. It's just something that I run for defense purposes because if there's no, especially with like a Turbo Dragoon build, if there's no line for Dragoon, you don't want to just end with nothing protecting yourself. It's not a good way to end your board. You always want some sort of protection. And if you can't get to it with Ref, I think Super Poly is still the best way to go with it. So we have our fusion cards right there, along with, excuse me guys, our Preparation of Rites. That's our starter to find everything. So we have Poly, 3 copies, and then 2 copies of Super Poly, and the 1 Secrets of Dark Magic. This can all be changed, subbed out, utilized, however we need to do it. We'll figure it out. And then this is one of the newer cards that came in today, the Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. I was told about this from a good friend of mine at Local, so I went ahead and ordered 2 of them. I think this is going to be an awesome card, especially against the Malice stuff. I've only played Malice once. I think they have some links And I think this is one of the better ways to get over a link card. This card says, change as many monsters on the field as possible to face-down defense position. Then if either player controls a face-up monster, they must send all face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. As we all know, we cannot send links. I mean, we can't put links face-down defense position. They can't change their position. So that's how we get them off the field. And then we flip everything else face down. In a Turbo Dragoon build, it's perfect to flip those down, send the link stuff off, and then pop, pop, burn for damage. So we're going to test that out because, like I said, they just came in today. I didn't get to run them in my last Dragoon build. So we'll set these to the side as some of our traps. And then the one other trap that I think is in here, other than our hand trap, is going to... Okay, so it's not in here. I do have one copy of There Can Only... Yeah, it is in here. I'm sorry, guys. There Can Only Be One. An awesome clutch card. It came in really handy for us at our last locals, and I figured why not keep it in here. And then I'll just go ahead and lay out all of the other cards real quick. That way everything is nice and pretty when we get to it. The two Lightning Storms, the Soul Servant, Book of Eclipse, Forbidden Droplet, Spellbound. Spellbound is a card that is so slept on, and I hope a lot of other people start running it, along with Ultimate Slayer. This was recommended to me by someone who really liked the Turbo Dragoon build. They left a comment under it, and I had to go look at it and realize that I had it. And this card states, your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. You can send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with the same card type. Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendies, or Link, and then shuffle it into the deck. Great way to get something off of the board, guys. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on this as well. So we're going to throw that into this build and then possibly the Turbo Dragoon build to see how it holds up and what all it can do. And then we have the Forbidden Droplets. So let me go ahead and pick all of this up, make it look nice, and then we'll go through the profile. I haven't done any actual testing with this against anybody because we were waiting on a lot of the cards to come in, and they finally came in today. I was waiting a while, actually. So we'll go ahead and start looking at all these one at a time, and then you guys can let me know along the way if there's anything we need to change, anything you would add. Suggestions are always open, of course. That's the point of these lives. I want to make the best deck as possible, as competitive as possible. And then with the extra deck, we have some cards that we're never going to make, but come in handy with that trap card. I mean, that spell card, like I was saying. Like, we're never going to make access code, but you can send access code to the graveyard to get rid of a link. So it's great. We do make Garua and Predaplant off of Super Poly, which is fine. This is where I think some of the most fun is these three targets right here before we get into the rest of the extra deck with Magia. If Magia is removed from play, whether that be card effect, battle, whatever it is, if it leaves the field in any way or form, you get to special summon one of these three monsters, which is sick as fuck. So we run the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, the Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon, and then just the big beat stick Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This, no effect, obviously, it's just a big beater, but with these two, I believe with this card, we can cheat it out, obviously, with that card, but it says your opponent can't target or destroy this card, so we have a super dodge or omni-negate, whatever you want to call it. Once per turn, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. And then that's all we get. And then, because the second effect is, if this card was fusion summoned using a monster whose original name, alternative dragon, blah, 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 your opponent controls instead, this card cannot attack the turn. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But we get a pop with this card, 4,500 attack, sick as fuck. And then we have Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And this card says, other than the fusion material, at the end of the damage step, if this is the only face-up card you control and this fusion summon card attacked, you can send one Blue Eyes fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and this card can attack again in a row. Sick as fuck. Big bodies, big beaters, and it's just an easy way to cheat out if Magia is removed, because Magia can be targeted. It's not, untargetable like Dragoon. It just has the three negates once per turn. So a monster, a spell, and a trap. and then it's 5,000 attack, which is crazy. So I just think like that with the Dragoon, on top of Dragoon's Omni Negate, the pop, the burn for damage, and it gets bigger with every negate and destroy. I think it's an awesome, awesome card to have on the field. So, and then some of the other cards, like I was talking about, like we're never gonna make Blue Eye Spirit, but it's a synchro we can pitch. Depending on the toy box engine, I don't know. Baguska, Xyz, pitch, Mud Dragon, Super Poly Target, Abyss Dweller, pitch, Stardust Dragon, no way to make it, but it's a synchro, pitch, and then we're golden after that. We're golden pony boys. So that's my idea of the extra deck. We have 15, so we're maxing it out, and like I said, it is going to matter depending if we run the toy box engine or not. So without further ado, having said all that, I'll go ahead and get into the actual build right now, and then afterwards, maybe we'll do some test hands to see how stuff looks. But for now, we are running one copy of the Dark Magician, one copy of Timaeus, and then, as mentioned earlier, triple copies of Illusion of Chaos, triple copies of King of the Swamp, and other than Ash Blossom, the two hand trap monsters that we run, that is it for the monsters. So I'll actually put these at the back because, like I said, I consider them their own category, which is hand traps, but that's kind of where we're at with that. So these are the 5 monsters that we're running, right? Dark Sorcerer. I like running Daruma as a thrust target and Omni Hero, so I imagine you could do that with Dark Magician as well. Hell yeah, dude, exactly. So these are the monsters that we're going to have in the main deck. Obviously, Toy Box might come back into here, so we'd have 2 more, plus the light target that it can, Toy Soldier targets. But we have 3 extra materials of anything that we need with polymerization that we can make. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. So these are the materials. Like I said, I got to add Master of Chaos into the extra deck because that might be a possible target that we can make. But as far as the monsters, this is what we have. I'm pretty happy with it, and then we'll move on. I don't know if we need Secrets. Secrets is just good because it does the same thing that Timaeus or a regular polymerization does. So maybe we'll take that out. But we have Secrets. We have 2 copies of Super Poly, 3 copies of polymerization. So we have 6 fusion cards. Poly obviously is for the King of the Swamp and the Illusion of Chaos. And this is just, you just play polymerization and then Illusion of Chaos to King of the Swamp. So like there's no activate effect, it just is. So you can fuse it in the hand, which is obviously what we would do. So they would have to stop polymerization if I'm correct, not King of the Swamp. So we're good in that department as far as anything getting negated or not being able to resolve. 3 preparations of right, excuse me, to go grab our Illusion of Chaos. He's, like I said, more, I guess you'd say, focused on Magia because we've never played him yet, and I would love to get him on the field. I'm confident we can get Dragoon on the field at almost any time, so we're going to see, though. 2 triple talents so we can dig into the deck by drawing, or if we need to, take someone's monster, we can go ahead and do that. 2 thrust to go ahead and grab polymerization because in the few test hands I've had, I feel like I'm not really seeing poly. We have a 3rd thrust, so maybe we'll throw that in here. I'll have to look and see how these test hands look in a second. 2 Spellbound. This is that card, again, that I've mentioned so many times, but all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls cannot be tributed or used as material for fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link summons until the end of this turn. Fire card, dude. So slept on. If you're not running it, I highly suggest it. If you can make room for it, try your best to do it. 2 Forbidden Droplets. 2 Book of Eclipse. We're still flipping cards down, baby. 2 Lightning Storm. 2 Ultimate Slayer. And that is it. No, it's not. Sorry. Our last 2 spell cards are 2 Soul Servant, and then the traps, there can only be 1, 2 Karma Cannon, 2 Imperms, and then the 2 Ash. And that is the tight 40 that we have. Let's see. I like running. Yeah, no, my bad. Not the most optimal thing to do, but you could still run the secrets in case Timmy gets hit with a imperm or Veiler. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's just a matter of are we going to have it? Because I don't believe we have a card that searches secret. Obviously, that would be Rod. Rod's going to take up the normal summon. Not that we would ever normal summon in this deck. I don't believe. So maybe it might be a good investment to run Rod just to grab secrets. Because other than secrets, souls is the only target it can grab. Well, you know what? We'll slide him in here. So it's 41 right now. Is there anything we can take out at the moment that we might not need? Maybe a Book of Eclipse just to keep it at 40 because we have some flip cards already. So this is the build. We'll jump into some test hands real quick and see how it looks. But for now, I am super stoked to see if we can't get this started to summon, be like some of the first to video at locals and hopefully obviously win. That's the goal with it. With Dragoon and Magia on the field, that would be sick as fuck, obviously. And at locals, a lot of my friends there are pretty cool. We run, proxies of cards and whatnot, and obviously you want to make sure everyone's okay with it. So we'll ask just to verify and double check when we go. My locals is going to be tomorrow, so if we can't figure this out tonight, we will be running the Turbo Dragoon build again. But something I wanted to talk about locals was how do you guys right now feel about the Ryziel and Malice and the new stuff, not Supreme Darkness stuff, but just Ryziel and Malice in particular? I think I've seen a few people kind of giving up already on the Malice stuff. I'm sorry, on the Ryziel stuff. But I'm not mad at them for it because someone made a good point the other day in one of the Discord chats that the Ryziel stuff in the current format of things, the way that the inboards are, they're not like so toxic to where you can't really do anything. So you could play almost whatever you want right now. It doesn't have to be super crazy and still have like a good chance to one, play the game, and then two, like maybe even win. So hopefully people keep playing Ryziel. It seems like it's really, really fun to play. I've played it twice, or against it twice, excuse me, and it seems pretty neat. It might be something worth looking into just for, the fun of it. But we're going to take a look and see, hopefully pretty soon. Let's see. How do you feel about a trimmed down Shining Sark build to turbo out Dragoon and just keep the non-engine the same? Great question, Heroes. I've played a lot of Shining Sark. It's still my favorite way to play, not just casually, but Dark Magician, because you can splash some Dark Magician stuff in there. I just think it's one of those decks that everyone knows what it does by now. So, and even then, I don't know if it's super powerful. So because everyone sort of knows what it does, they know what to hit. So it's not like you have a lot of stuff that can bait out an Ash or an Imperm or a Veiler or some sort of negate. I think the way to run Shining Sark now is with some sort of engine that no one's put in it yet, and I personally don't know what that. Like maybe that's Sky Striker because I don't know how to play Sky Striker or what Sky Striker does. But has anyone made a Shining Sark Sky Striker? Has anyone made a Cash Shining Sark build? That's probably the way to go because it needs a little extra oomph. Because if you stop Gandora, that's pretty much game. If you can get rid of the Silent Swordsman or Magician, that's game. If you can get rid of Shining Sark, you have no plays. So I just don't know what that answer is after any of those cards get negated, like what engine you could put into it. I just, I don't know. But, okay, so first test hand, we open with Super Poly, Forbidden Droplet, Magician's Souls, Magician's Rod, Imperm, and King of the Swamp. So if we're going first, I don't love this hand. I'm not going to lie. Immediately, I'm just going to, what can we do? We have follow-up, so that's nice. And we have a disruption here. But we have 3 cards right here. Rod can go get a spell card, and that's either going to be Soul Servant as of now or Secrets of Dark Magic. Secrets of Dark Magic can fusion something, and this can become something. It's just, what can Rod and King of the Swamp make? I don't think anything. So, not the best hand. We'll go ahead and we will set Imperm and we'll set Poly. We'll play this out. We'll go Rod, Effect to Search. And then, like I said, those are the only two cards I believe we can search right now. So it would be Soul Servant or Secrets. Yeah. And Secrets doesn't help because we don't have anything to draw after we banish it yet. And then Servant would be like that. And then Secrets can't fusion anything. So can we put something that we would need on top of the deck to fuse next turn? Well, all we have is King of the Swamp, Super Poly, and yeah, that's just not a lovely hand. Super Poly and that. So I would say, yeah, Soul Servant, put that in the hand, activate, and then what can we put on top of the deck? Timaeus, I think, is the best option because Timaeus is a walking poly. We'll put Timaeus on top. Activate, Timaeus goes to the top, that goes to the grave, and now we wait, and then we would pass turn. After they pass turn, we would go Imperm for whatever they're going to do. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. Still with these two cards in hand, and then we would go Super Poly. I would pitch Droplet. I don't know. What's something fun? Ryziel made me be able to make Garua, so let's just say Garua. All right, big disruption. We got Garua, we got that. Draw. We knew it was going to be Timaeus. Timaeus has to get rid of a spellcaster to summon it, so we'll pitch Rod. Special summon Timaeus. Effective Timaeus to fusion summon. This will become Dark Magician. And just like that, we got our first Dragoon on the field. He gets one pop. No, he doesn't. Just kidding. No pops because we didn't use any normal monsters. So he's a 3K beater. No cards in hand for no negate. So he's just there. And then this doubles attack. Like I said, not my favorite opening hand, but I don't know. Deck building is one of those things where I feel like you're either good at it or you're not, unfortunately. And I am clearly not the best at it. But this is why we practice. Right. Let's see. And I'm so sorry for the behind. Let's see. I'm reading now, guys. Forged. I wouldn't set Super Poly too early in case they Bisteel you, so then you can fusion out their cards with yours. Bisteels are popular right now. You're absolutely right. We actually played some Bisteels. Someone tried to banish. I think they banished my Illusion last game. It didn't matter because we didn't have this. No, it wouldn't have been that. It was Red Eyes because we didn't have this deck. Maybe link Artemis, then use Spell Trap to trigger Rod during opponent's turn. Again, all great points. I don't know if I have Artemis. I'll have to double check. If I have it, we might have to run it. Forge. Do I have Artemis? You would know. Forge is a good friend of mine in real life. He definitely helps me with the creativeness of these builds. So hopefully, we'll offer our cut to our opponent. Hopefully we have Artemis because the only thing my mind immediately goes to with Rod is link into Verte, which we clearly don't have. But God, how sick would that be right now? Let me know in the comments right now if you've watched this. Do you want Verte to come back? And I'll shout out eHeroes Forge. Go give him a sub. Check out his videos. He made a great point. This is how you bring Verte back. His idea, not mine. You raise the requirement for the summon of the link, right? So maybe it becomes like, what is Verte? A link 2? Make it a link 4. Make it a little harder to make. That way maybe it becomes more balanced. I don't know. I missed that era of Yu-Gi-Oh! with Verte, so I just missed out on it. But looking at this hand, this is not bad, at all. We could make Dragoon or Magia just based off of this. The question is this a go first or go second hand? Let's just peek real quick. Okay, Lightning Storm, so that wouldn't help us, but we're going to go ahead and pretend it's a go first hand, and we'll see what we can do. So my mind immediately goes to let's bait something. So we're going to go Preparation of Rites to go grab us another Illusion of Chaos. They let it go. It's just preparation of rites. Not that big a deal. That's fine. So we have illusion. Now we have 2 illusions: spellbound, book, and king of the swamp. What can we do? We can go illusion to go grab Timaeus, and we're gonna put illusion back on top of the deck. So illusion to grab Timaeus. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Add 1 Dark Magician or non-ritual monster that mentions from your deck. Yep, okay. And then place 1 card on top of the deck. So we're going to put Illusion back on top of the deck because it's probably going to be a neat card that we're going to need next turn. Now, this is tricky. Maybe we should have held on to it because we need to get rid of a spellcaster or a spell or trap that mentions it to make this card. So we're going to go back a step. We're going to hold on to Illusion. And we're going to put Book of Eclipse on top of the deck. Okay, this is better, I think. So now we're going to go Special Summon Timaeus by sending Chaos. And Timaeus can either make Dragoon with himself and King of the Swamp, or we can fuse these 2 to make Magia. I think Magia is the better call because Timaeus is a 2800 beater. So we're going to go that way. So we're going to make Magia. We have Timaeus, 2800 beater. Now we have 3 negates, 2 big bodies, and then we can set this because we don't need it. And all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls cannot be tributed or use this fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link materials. Perfect. Set, pass. Fire hand. I'm not mad at this at all. We'll pass turn to opponent. Oh, what do you have? You have Yubel, you have Rise, pick, negate. Okay. All right, yeah, you're going to go and search. Okay, I'll negate. Done. Okay, yep, you pretty much done. Negate, done. All right, sweet. Draw for turn. Boom, Book of Moon. We knew this was coming. Not that big a deal. Now we just go into battle, dude. 5K to the face, 28 follow-up. I mean, when it works, it works. And we need more consistent lines, I think. And again, deck building. This is the hard part, right? E-Hero Forge. I think if Verte was a little hard to summon, it would be fine. In my opinion, it helps more decks than just Dark Magician. So overall, I think it's a fair trade-off. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, guys, that was his idea, not mine. He's a good friend in real life, and he was telling me this the other day. So he's just repeating what I said because it was his idea to begin with. And I think that's true. There's a lot of OP cards in the game right now, and I think Verte would be an interesting mix-up to make, to say the least. Like he said, make it a little bit harder to summon, and maybe that would be... And then keep it at 1. Keep Verte at 1, make it a Link 4, harder to summon, and then, yeah, let's go crazy. Let's see what we can make. Something fun, something interesting. We'll see how many more non-DM players splash in Dragoon like they're doing in Master Duel, which is hilarious because everyone's losing their minds. It's either a good card or it's a toxic card, which is funny to see. But all right, let's do a second hand. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what going second looks like with this in particular build. Okay, so we open with King of the Swamp, Illusion, Talents, Servant, Thrust, and another Illusion. So let's see, what can we make here? Can we make anything at all? Yeah, it's kind of the same line as last one, right? So we would go, we could bait some stuff. We could for sure bait some stuff. So we got 2 illusions. So we would go illusion to search. And let's go grab Timaeus again, I think would be the call. Because Dark Magician alone doesn't do anything. And we don't need the 3rd illusion. So... Rod, what would Rod do? Rod would give us Soul Servant, which we have in our hand already, or Secrets, but Secrets only fusions a monster that mentions Dark Magician, so we couldn't get Magia out of that. Magia, I think, is the more fun way to go with this, I think. So we'll keep 2 illusions again, and we're going to put Soul Servant back on top of the deck. So here we are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cards. So we're going to special summon Timaeus from hand, and we will discard another illusion. Okay, they did something. Activated a monster effect. Now we have 2 searches. We can draw 2 and go grab a poly. This is my question. It's my turn. I'm the turn player. Sorry guys, I forget a lot. Is it Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, or because they're regular spell cards, do you activate one at a time and then open a window for some sort of negate or interaction? I don't know. And I would hate to misplay at such a high stake event like a YCS because I didn't know. But for my case now, while I'm waiting, we'll do them one at a time. Obviously, our opponent's not going to have any interaction. So we'll go talents to draw 2, just so we have some support in the hand. Awesome. And then we'll go thrust to grab a normal spell. And what are we going to grab? We could grab a lightning storm. We don't need prep. I think we're good there. We could grab poly. Poly would save us. No, it wouldn't save us the discard. Well, we didn't make. No, yeah, we did summon Tamaya. So okay, we can't save the discard. We could grab. That's probably it, right? Oh, we can. No, we can't. Let's grab Slayer just for the fun of it. See what happens. So we'll grab Slayer, give this a shuffle, and then we will offer our opponent a cut because that is the gentlemanly thing to do. Cut. Put it back. Grave. Hand. So everything is in the hand except for Tamias. Tamias is on there. So yeah, Tamias effect. Fusion summon. To make Magia. Boom. Second Magia. 2 hands out of 3. I apologize. And then we have Droplet and freaking Ultimate Slayer, dude. Yeah, we're freaking cooking. Soul Servant. What do we want for follow-up? That's what we need to think about right now. What do we want monster-wise for Soul Servant as follow-up? What can we put out here? We could put Dark Magician on top of the deck. That's what we're going to do. All right, so here we go. We're going to go Soul Servant to put Dark Magician on top of the deck. I don't believe we get the draw because we don't have DMG, Dark Magician, or a Mahad. So we can't banish. So he's going to go on top. Excuse me. That's going to go in the grave. We're going to stay here. We're cooking. And then we have Droplet and Ultimate Slayer. Maybe we should hold on to 1. We're gonna hold on to. Well, we can't play this, so we're gonna hold on to this. We're gonna set Droplet. Swing. Boom, boom, whatever that's gonna be, and then we're going to pass turn. They're going to try to do shit. Negate, negate, negate. Back to us. Draw our Dark Magician. And then we are going to fuse Dark Magician, Tamias, into Dragoon. You'll love to see it. We got Magia and Dragoon on the field. We're going to hit them with that Forbidden Droplet. Pow. And that looks like game to me. You can see how fun this could possibly be, guys. Like, I'm really excited for it. Not relevant to the video, but after experimenting with those Sinful Spoils, I basically made Dark Magician, Dia Bellstar, Toy Box in real life. Dude, heck yeah, man. The Dia Bellstar stuff is so sick. Like, I'm really excited. Because, like, I mean, somebody said it might be gone. I don't know if they were, like, just joshing or not, but I feel like I need to jump on that wagon before and if it goes away. For Ultimate Slayer targets, I think that one rank 9 is solid. Heck yeah. So, no, dude, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so, I mean, this is essentially how it's been running. I mean, I'm not mad about it, guys. So, my question is, while I'll gear up for one more, maybe a couple more test hands, you guys right now, let me know. Do we need the Toy Box engine? I'm kind of leaning towards no. I don't think we need it because if you run Toy Box, you have to run Magician Souls. And do we need that card as well? Again, I'm leaning towards no right now. I feel like we're okay without them. But you guys let me know in the comments real quick. Do we need to run Toy Box and Magician Souls? Let's do another going second hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to see how it's going to be. And we open with Poly, Imperm, Prep, Forbidden Droplet, Cannon, and another Imperm. Not the best hand. All right, what can we do with this? Not a whole lot. So, assuming we're going to get rid of one Imperm, assuming we tried to interact on their turn. So we'll just draw into that one, and this is what we have. So we have a Poly, Imperm, Prep, Droplet. So let's go Prep to grab Illusion of Chaos, and then boom, there he is. And then Chaos to what can we make? Can we go? We need Poly. Illusion of Chaos to grab. See, this is what I'm saying. Like Dark Magician to grab. No, we can't be Timaeus. So we could grab. Yeah, we can grab Dark Magician, and then this is what I'm saying with like he's at the top. Of course he is. Master of Chaos. How much it would help right now? Well, we did go second, so there is that it could help. What are we going to put back? We need Poly to make that. We could probably put back Imperm. So Imperm's going to go on the top. And then we're going to go Polymerization to make Dark Magician, Illusion of Chaos, Master of Chaos. I don't have it. It's, oh shoot, my binder's in the other room. So we would just make Master of Chaos. You know, pretend our boy Unicorn right here is Master of Chaos. Master of Chaos targets a light or a dark monster in our graveyard, so we're going to target Dark Magician, special summon him, and then we contribute him to banish all of our cards on our opponent's field, and he's a 3K beater. And then we still have Forbidden Droplet and Destructive Dharma Cannon in hand. So it's not bad at all. I'm not really mad at it. I'm kind of liking this. What are y'all thinking? This is pretty fun. Like I said, if the line is there and it works, I'm not mad at it at all. Let's see. We'll do another one. Pardon me, guys. What is y'all's thoughts on Ryziel and Malice right now? What are y'all thinking? I don't know. It seems a little expensive. I don't know why it's that expensive. Maybe it's just a popularity thing. There's a new Mulcharmy card coming out in the new Supreme Darkness, so that's kind of cool. I wish I would have held on to mine. I didn't, unfortunately, but maybe they'll come out in the new Bonanza stuff. Let's try going first hand. If they reprint everything in the new Bonanza stuff, I'll be freaking pumped. All right, so going first. Oof. All right. We can only make up scenarios so much, right? So we'll go Prep to bait out like an Ash. Oh, wow, they ashed it? Okay. We're going to go Talents to draw 2. So 1, 2. Oof. Not good, not good. We can go... what can we do? We still have Illusion of Chaos. We can go grab, Dark Magician, Timaeus. Pretty much it. We'll go Rod to search Soul Servant. And then we're going to use Soul Servant to put something on top of the deck. Question is, what are we going to put? What can we make? Because we don't have anything to fusion it. Oh, that blows. Timaeus, right? Timaeus is the way to go. So Servant, we're going to activate Servant. We're going to go put Timaeus on top of the deck. We can't draw him this turn, which is fine. We'll wait for next turn. Rod's going to get demolished, but we have Book of Eclipse and Spellbound. So would you set both? That is the question. Book of Eclipse, because we don't have anything to pop them right now, their cards are going to get flipped back up, and then they're going to draw equal to the number of cards flipped up. So depending on how big of a board they get set up, it's going to suck. So I would imagine Spellbound would be the way to go. We'll let them get... Who are we playing? We're playing Ryziel. That's what everyone's going to be playing, right? Ryziel's going to get their 2 to 3 cards on the field. So we'll have Spellbound set. He's going to start to go into his plays. Spellbound, you can't do nothing with them. They're just bodies. Okay, I forget how big they are. They crash into Rod. I don't know if they have anything that gets over 16, but it's fine because now we are going to draw Tamias. Oh my God, it's not going to work because we got rid of. No, it will. Okay, we're fine. I thought we were going to have to get rid of Chaos. I got so scared. All right, Chaos, real Chaos to go grab. Do we go? Yeah, we have to go Dragoon, right? So we're gonna go grab Dark Magician. He is where? Dark Magician, and then we're going to put Book of Eclipse. We'll put Book of Eclipse on top of the deck. Tamias, we're gonna pitch Illusion, Fusion Summon. Here's our 1-pop Dragoon. And then 1 card in hand to negate, to destroy. That's not what you want to end up on. Like, this is what scares me about this. Because in today's game, ending with just a single Dragoon with no sort of follow-up is, like, not optimal at all. There's so many outs to this card. It's not as scary as people think. It is fun to watch people sweat, but it's not as scary as people think. Talents outs this. Any kaiju outs this. You guys know the deal. It's my favorite card, but he's not that scary. So this is not optimal. I'm finding, y'all, is going second the move with this deck? Is that what we want out of this? Let's do another going second, and we're gonna see how that goes. Let's do one more. It's gonna be a going second hand. Hopefully whoever we're playing, this ghost sitting across from me doesn't have some insane freaking board, because it's not like the Turbo Dragoon build where we have all the board breakers. We have a few in here, you've seen, but not too many. 4, 5, 6. It's our turn. After 20 minutes, they finally pass turn. And what do we have? Oof. Okay. So we have some fun stuff. We can turn their shit off. We can pop back row or monsters, and then they can't go into plays. Illusion. What is Illusion going to grab first in this scenario? Because again, Tamias. Dude, do we need Tamias at 2 just so we can fuse more? You know what I mean? Like him just for fusions. So I would go Lightning Storm, maybe to get rid of some back row. Let's just imagine they had some back row. We control no cards. In perm, we'll turn something off because we're going to hold on to Droplet. And then we'll go Illusion into my... That's not going to make anything, right? We'll go Illusion. Maybe one Timmy is fine. Yeah, you're probably right, because we don't have the resources to keep summoning him. We'll go Illusion to grab Rod. Rod wouldn't make anything. I don't know if we can make anything. Shoot. I guess Tamias, just to hold on to maybe, and then we would get a draw. No, we wouldn't. Yeah, you get a draw off the Soul Serpent, right? I don't know. Let's just assume we did. Special summon. We'll discard that. Banish this to draw. I don't know if that works or not. And we got Donovan Cannon, so it didn't really help. Oof. Yeah, not my favorite hand. And we would set Droplet, hold on to that, and then we just got Timmy to swing. Okay, so again, the first hand and then this hand. You see how it's not quite there yet. I'm not mad at it by any means. I think when it works, but it's, what are we missing? That's the question. What are we missing? Is it too many, do we have too many attempts at board breakers? Or is it, and we need maybe some, more hand traps, more disruption, more Dark Magician cards? I'm trying to figure out. I don't think Toy Box is going to help us in this. We want to draw because we're not seeing the cards, but I think Toy Box is just going to, it takes up too many cards, because I would have to get rid of more than just the board breakers to put that back in here. Assuming, this is a big assume, we're keeping it at a tight 40, which I think is probably the most optimal way to play it. Anything over 40 really scares me, because I feel like you're not going to see, obviously, your cards. It's math at the end of the day, obviously. But if you could put the right cards in, which clearly we don't know, you're not going to see those cards. So Type 40 is what I would like to keep. That's what we're going to keep it at for now. Oh, shoot, man. I don't know what else to add. Let's peep this extra deck real quick. Super Poly targets, blue eyes, blue eyes, blue eyes, target. No, not target. That's discard fodder. Dragoon, discard, discard. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. And then we have those to discard as well. Let me pick my cards up. So we have our discard fodder, our Super Poly targets, Dragoon, and Magia. So, where's my... Oh, there it is. So we have Dragoon with Magia, our 3 Super Poly targets, and our discard fodder. Yeah, I mean, unless there's like a better XC's Synchro or Link card that does something in the grave, because we're not making these cards at all. So unless you guys right now can let me know if there's anything better that we can just pitch for fodder and that has like some sweet engrave effect, please let me know, because I can't think of any right now. But yeah, this is essentially the profile, guys. I'm really happy with it for the most part. It's always going to need improvement, which is why I appreciate you guys so much. But as of now, I'm torn. Do we bring this to locals tomorrow, or do we bring the Turbo Dragoon build for the wins? I don't know. And as for the Turbo Dragoon build, the only thing that's going to change in that build is the Dharma cannons that I ordered. I'm going to take out the 2 Book of Moons, leave the Eclipse, and then put these 2 in. So that's it for that build. That's all that's changing. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is the profile. I'm glad we got to do some test hands, and you guys can see what it does. For now, Dragoon Turbo, bro, you might be right. I think you're right, Sorcerer. Yeah, we'll do that. I think we'll do that. But I just wanted to showcase you guys this build and what it can do, how much fun it is. I think there's for sure some better avenues that we can try to find. But in the meantime, this is what it's going to be. We are unfortunately locked into just bringing this to locals because, like I said in the beginning, I do not own a Magia in Western English, US, whatever you want to call it, TCG. We only got these 2 OCG copies, which were like $12 on TCG. Y'all, everyone needs to write Konami right now and tell them to make this fucking card more affordable for the TCG, because it's ridiculous that it's not. And as far as I'm aware, it's not in the new Blue Eye stuff. So this is the build. It was really fun. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'm really happy I got to showcase it to you. And stick around for the weekend, because we are going to talk about that Dragoon Turbo build maybe tomorrow. There's another locals tomorrow at a different city. It's actually in Baton Rouge, which is further away from where I normally go. I'm thinking about maybe riding over there to test the Dragoon or this build. I don't know how they're going to feel about Magia, so we're going to have to see about that. But this was the build, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank everyone for the help and the comments that you suggested so far. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Let me know what you think of the channel. Leave a like, share this with your friends, and turn on that bell notification, because one day, maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend, you guys saw it. We're going to end with a Dragoon and a Magia on the board, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, because we're going to start filming our locals videos again. So with that being said, y'all have an awesome night. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.